CVA's Accura Series, Bagara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being sponsored by Tri-Green Equipment. Stop in and see them at 21 locations in Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee. They can take care of all your Honda, Steel, and John Deere needs. All right, guys, we want y'all to go over and check out Courtney's Restaurant and Catering at 4066B North Mount Juliet Road in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Or y'all can give owner Tom Courtney a call, 615-754-7548. Let them take care of all your catering and delivery needs.
Yeah, I knew me some beans and cornbread.
I wonder if Tom would bring us some right now. He probably would. You know, if I called him, he'd ought to bring us some down there. They're probably catering somewhere down there anyway. They usually are on Thursday night. When he used to come around and do the recipes a lot for us, they would actually be catering events, and he would just run over here from whatever event.
We used to eat in here a lot.
Yeah, we do quite a bit. Guys, we've been talking about the river fishing, and yes, you want to do some scouting. You want to get down there and make sure, you know, but now let's get all this aside, okay? Yeah, we had some issues with a bunch of canoes and things, but fishing-wise, okay, once we got where we wanted to be, the fishing was great. We had a great day. We truly did. But I want to talk a little bit about what we were using and kind of what you want to be doing, because there's a lot of water there. It's not like a lake. You're not going across there to one single, you know, this is continuous flowing water. And the fish are everywhere. Now, that's one neat thing about they're everywhere, but you want to look for particular things. And Randall, you chime in too as much as you can, but I'm looking for a deep pool. You know, there's a lot of shallow spaces. We're dragging boats, and then all of a sudden you've got a 50-yard stretch and there's 2 deep pools in it. They're 5 or 6 foot of water. And say there's especially if you got a tree down in one of them or something, it's catching that current. Those little pools are where you want to focus, and you don't want to just go running up on them if you can help it. You saw us parking you know, pulling the kayaks off to the side, and we'd ease out there to them. That's because they see you approaching that pool. They know that you're approaching, and if you can go across that flat area like we were doing when we caught some of those fish from the standing in the water,
and
that was the key, was just getting to the pools and catching where that current was coming to the deep pool.
Just below a turn.
Yeah.
You got a turn right here. That's a good place.
That's right. It's a good place for him to lay and catch bait.
Yeah.
Coming around that turn. You know, that bait's getting washed down the river, coming around that curve, and that's where they lay. And that the biggest smallmouth I caught there in that video is that they're not going to get as big down there, you know, per se. You're not going to go down there and catch a 6-pound smallmouth probably. You may, but probably not. But he was in just a very little deep pool. It was a deep pool, and if y'all remember, just beyond him, we had to drag the boats a long way.
Yeah.
And he was laid up in that last pool where that water came over and cut into that deep pool in between the 2 shallow runs.
Gap between 2 bluffs there.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. It could be just one shady spot under one tree that's a couple foot deep compared to that 6 or 8 inch deep of water. And that's where they'll be, especially those little red eyes. They'll get in there and bunch up together and get in that one little pool, and that's what you want to be doing. But just about any kind of plastic bait, probably put a fish on the end of your line. I did downsize that day, and it helped me a lot when I went down in size a little bit. You caught them mostly on a little lizard, is what you were throwing. A
7-inch lizard.
7-inch lizard. And I did catch a few on that, and I actually I downsized to a 4-inch tube, just a tube, a very simple crawfish-colored tube, and put an 1/8-inch jig head in that, and I used that, and it seemed to get more bites on the red eye side, you know, to get them a little bit more excited and want to get over there and get aggressive and get after them. But again, there's nothing fancy that takes to do this kind of fishing. If you can get an old canoe, or you know, borrow your buddy's kayak, or you know, if you can just get to the water somehow, you can wade and cover a lot of this water. Wading, but these little streams and rivers are some of the best fishing that you can do, you know, around the state. You know, I think it's better in a lot of ways than the lakes are.
And we had fun with the people in the canoes. Don't think.
Oh, we had a great time. We
wasn't hating on them. They enjoyed every time I turned over, and a woman had to come down there and rescue me, help my canoe.
They did. We think some of that was on purpose, so we ain't sure about that yet. Guys, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be right back with this week's calendar of events and some more Southern Woods and Waters.